Yo, what's up? Good morning, everyone. Are you ready for day 2/3 of the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference? Some quick housekeeping items. If you haven't, download the Benzinga Connect app. It's an amazing resource. You can message people. You can set up meetings. It will work for another 2 weeks, so you can continue to network after the conference. Our mantra here is sit next to someone you don't know. Talk to someone you don't know. This is a perfect opportunity to network. So, having said this, I want to introduce you to Michael Berger. Michael is our cannabis stock analyst. The reason why I'm introducing him is we recently relaunched one of our products called Benzinga Cannabis Research now. This is I want to see a show of hands. Who here trades cannabis stocks? Very few people. Okay, that's interesting. So we're in this industry and you're not cashing in. That is very surprising. And I get it, right? It's difficult. There's ETFs. You can invest in those kind of passively. They will give you reasonable returns, sometimes very good. But honestly, this is a sector that is very volatile. Stocks will go up, go down. Things happen very quickly. The industry develops very quickly. And you got to stay on top of the news, right? That's the only way you can trade stocks successfully. You got to stay on top of the news every day, all day. Let's be honest, we're all busy. Ain't no Gotti but time for that. So that is why Michael is here. Michael, welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'm kind of very surprised to see such a limited interest in trading cannabis stocks, but it's been a very volatile few years. But compared to last year, we're doing fantastic. If you look at the big boys, the Green Thumbs, the True Leaves, the Cure Leaves, they're up about 100% year over year. So this market's still in its infancy. We're barely seeing regulation come out at the federal level. And the opportunity to capitalize on cannabis is now. The way we do this is through a variety of analysis and a variety of techniques that were utilized from swing trading, long-term holding, buying the dips, and really capitalizing on what happens with the government. So end of last year, we had the Department of HHS have that great announcement talking about how they were really wanted to get the DEA to reschedule cannabis, but nothing has been really said ever since. So we had that huge pop and then a nice little trend to the downside. What we were able to do was capitalize on that. If you look at some of the positions in our mock portfolio, you'll see that they're up over 100%. That we've taken gains on Canopy over 200%, and we're kind of holding on to who we think are the real long-term players in this space. Do they have a competitive advantage? Do they have a strong balance sheet? What are their costs of goods sold? What are they spending their money on? Because if you look back in the day, a lot of this spending was on promotion, on execution, well, failed execution, trying to build out as many facilities as possible because the industry was valued on some crazy concept called funded capacity. Thank God we moved away from that, and that really shows an amazing way the industry is trending. So through our platform, what you get access to is our trades, and I'd say that's probably the most valuable aspect of the whole database that we can give you. We help you avoid some of these downturns. We help you capitalize on the swings, and the way we're able to judge this is by looking at the trend, looking at volume, looking at momentum, RSI, all the fun stuff that a lot of people clearly have no interest in, but we take that part of the process out of it for you. So if you want to look at our portfolio, we're offering a 30-day free trial, which gives you the chance to really see how the platform works, see how the portfolio is performing, and look at what you get on a monthly basis. Every day through the platform, you have access to me. If you have any questions at all about what's going on in the sector, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to help you figure out how to best trade around the industry, what's going on, and if we see a possibility, is it a buy, sell, or hold opportunity. I mean, a lot of people are expecting to see some federal developments over the next coming days, and I hope that's true because the mock portfolio will just get much and much better. But we plan to put a lot more capital to work in the next coming month because we do see a shift coming. But with that being said, one thing we never recommend people to do is go all in. Don't buy your entire position at once. buy 25% of a position that you want, put 25% of your planned investment in there, and watch how it goes. That's the strategy we take with the mock portfolio. We make sure that we have powder on the sidelines. We are ready to capitalize on these swing trades. And if a stock tanks, we're able to buy the dip. You never want to be overexposed in a sector as volatile as cannabis, but hopefully we've seen some of the worst times behind us, and now it's just going to be moving forward. Personally, when I look at this space, I love the US more than Canada. Canada has had an unbelievable rally for no reason at all, and we took that opportunity to exit some of those positions at that time being. When it comes to a longevity standpoint, I don't know if anyone listened to Boris speak yesterday from Curaleaf, but they're dominating Europe. It's not just a US story anymore. So we're focusing on plays that have that global reach, the global opportunity, and the companies that actually have something called free cash flow. Something that all the investment bankers want to see, something that all the traders want to see. This is no longer let's see how much revenue we can get, let's see what we can do, let's see what we can put out there. This is becoming about cash flow and net income. Adjusted EBITDA, obviously a metric you want to look into, but we really try to take a holistic approach when looking at the market. We want to have a pretty long-standing view, and for that reason, we keep positions in the mock portfolio the whole time. While we do swing trade, because with my background being in banking, if I see a stock that's run up 100% in the last 3 months, I'm going to exit, and then I'll re-enter on a dip, because that type of rally, to be honest, it's just not sustainable. So we help you navigate these choppy waters. We help you find the alpha, and we want to make sure that you're able to capitalize on this going to be biggest industry and probably since tobacco got started. I mean, you're seeing a whole parallel shift across the whole investment spectrum. Everyone's looking at new markets, everyone's looking at new opportunities, and that's what we want to help you guys be able to figure out when it comes to the cannabis sector. I'm just curious, for the people that aren't trading stocks, does anyone want to give me a specific reason as to why?
I mean, for me, I'm afraid to lose my money, to be very honest. It's like one of those things, I work hard 7 days a week, and I'm like, I don't want to risk it. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, we have an industry that's in the early innings of a major multi-decade growth cycle. I mean, we see companies that have a $5 billion valuation currently, and obviously that's pretty high, and you don't want to be able to just get it at the top. But if you look at tobacco, you look at alcohol, you look at all these markets, I mean, these companies are hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, tobacco, it's trillions of dollars. So cannabis, obviously, we're nowhere near that type of level yet. We're not at that adoption, but you're seeing all these big industries want to take a piece of this market because it's coming. It's clearly, I mean, look at how these stocks are performing. Yeah, if Bitcoin and crypto wasn't doing so well recently, I think you'd see a lot more money in the cannabis sector, because when you're looking at these venture industries, I mean, you never want to put all your money into early stage industries because you want to have that protection, but cannabis is just getting started, and there's going to be a lot of companies getting ready to take advantage of this massive growth cycle, government reform, new states opening, new opportunities, and one day interstate commerce.
So the volatility in the stocks that we've seen out there are very extreme, not longevity, the history that we can go by, and for the company to be around a year from now based on external factors. There's other places you can consider putting your money to get a reasonable expectation.
And completely agree with you. And if you look at the mock portfolio, we focused on companies that have staying power. Like when IIPR dropped down below $70, that was just an easy buy. I mean, you look at their most recent earnings, and that stock has just got so much upside potential. The companies it works with, the companies that it leases facilities to, they're top notch. So you want to make sure that that's an important factor, because, I mean, now it's trading near $100. Previously it was about $200, so it's still well off its highs, but it's employing and it's working with the green thumbs, the true leaves, the cure leaves. The tenants it has are a lot stronger. So I mean, management teams have gotten so much better. It's really impressive to see how that's changed. I mean, Green Thumb with the Kovler family owning Jim Beam. It's only a matter of time until that distribution comes online and they're able to take advantage of that. And that's my favorite pick in the entire space. But I think there's a lot of upside with really probably 20 to 30 plays in a sector that I would look at. I don't like the companies that are going to be the ones that are going to be acquired, because they're not going to get acquired for the valuations we expect. And it's not going to be that great of an opportunity because of all the debt these people have. I mean, when you're servicing interest of north of 20% on $100 million of debt, like that's a lot of money you're paying out, especially if you're not profitable. So being able to identify balance sheets, what your interest expense is, what's going to be coming up, you need to be able to identify that to determine which companies got staying power.
You guys mentioned you exited some of the Canadian stocks. What do you feel about some of these cash-rich Canadian companies that own a credit portfolio of American MSOs?
So when it comes to those, I mean, I like Kronos just because of its balance sheet. I like Tilray because of their exposure across the space. But when it comes to having the assets in the United States, I mean, a lot of these agreements were structured as, okay, once legalization happens, you have the option to buy us. So it's just going to be interesting to see what happens when they need to make that additional payments, like Canopy Growth. I mean, their balance sheet is not nearly as pretty as it once was, and they have a lot of U.S. assets on their books that they're going to need to fund, that they're going to need to actually kind of grow. But do they have the cash to actually execute anymore? I mean, they've had a lot of challenges. They've shut down tons of facilities. So when it comes to Canada, we've kind of just stayed away. That's just it. We got out of Canopy Growth. The only one that we're holding right now is Tilray, and that's just because we see it as a swing trade capability. Yes, sir.
Thank you. You mentioned that the crypto market interest is taking away some of the opportunities to invest in stocks. Do you feel that the scales are gonna tip at some point, and what do you think the indicators of that is?
That's a great question. I believe that you're gonna see a shift of people trying to get into the cannabis once you see more legalization coming around, because just like crypto getting the ETF approved, a lot of people waited on the sidelines until there was some sort of confirmation from federal governments or from the SEC that, hey, this is an okay area to invest. So I think cannabis hasn't had that moment. The banks haven't gotten involved. The big funds haven't gotten involved. And that's what you're seeing in the crypto space with all these ETFs. So once you get some clarity in the US, once you get these funds buying into either the ETFs or the single players, I like the single players personally, I think you're going to see just a shift of capital. I don't think crypto is going to take a dive as a result. I just think you're going to see money coming out of other parts of the sector, other industries, legacy industries, banking, oil, gas, people that want to find that next commodity.
If you have more questions for Michael, Benzinga Cannabis Research is an awesome platform. You got the trades. Michael posts analysis on stocks and the markets almost daily. He'll also go online every day of the week. Look, work day, of course. Everyone needs to rest. You can chat with him. You can ask him questions directly. We'll do a weekly video webinar with him as well. You can see the trades, and you can try it. 30 days, money back guarantee. Scan the QR code if you want to try it. Risk-free. I recommend it. I think it's very cool. I think it's fun. And if you have any questions, you can email rodrigo@benzinga.com. Again, rodrigo@benzinga.com. I know it's difficult. You have any questions, you can come up to me as well. You can come up to Michael. He'll be available on the platform. You'll have your own analyst. Check it out.
Every day in the chat rooms, always available to communicate, always available to have a one-on-one conversation. Happy to explain this and my strategies since I've been doing this for 10 years, trading in this sector, I definitely have a long-standing just knowledge of this market. So anyone that wants to chat, I'm always available.
This will be a weird segue. If you like to make money in this industry, you got to remember, there's people who paid the price of illegality for decades and decades and decades. People who are in prison for the plant we're profiting off, whether you're investing in stocks, whether you're running a business. We got to make this right. And that is what this next panel is about. Let's hear it up for
Thank you
Alexa
very much.
Alinello and Luke Sormaso.